Hey there, I started writing articles for this online magazine called I Am Magazine. And oh, by the way, this is Giovanni from Inspire Yourself Life Coaching. And so, some people don't like to read articles. So I'm going to make a video talking, reading through my article and talking more about it. And any questions you have, any comments you have, you can put it in the comment section below. So my November article is called Self-Esteem. It's called Is Social Media Hurting My Self-Esteem? Because we always hear, I feel bad when I go on social media, or social media is hurting my self-esteem, or social media is, hurting our kids nowadays, because they feel bad about themselves. And, parents try to limit their kids' usage of social media because of that, and sometimes even their own usage of it because they feel bad when they go on it as well. On social media, we're drawn to this picture-perfect life, of people who seem to be in great relationships with great health and great careers, and perfect bodies, and they look so great. And oh my God, how they get their body like that, right? You look at that and you look at yourself and you go, something must be missing here because I don't look like that. My relationships don't look picture perfect, and my photos don't look picture perfect either. So what's going on here? So I'm going to feel bad about myself. So it's all about love. So love is like oxygen for the soul. We need love, maybe to survive, but at least to have some meaning, to have some happiness in life. Most people might think that they need certainty or significance in life. Certainty means they need to feel secure. They think that's their highest need. They think significance is their highest need, of trying to be special and needed and wanted. They might think that those are two special needs, but in the end, they're usually not. I find that loving connection is usually people's top need. People might think, and you see this all around, they see this all the time, and they think if I just have a secure job, a secure relationship, I'm good. If I just feel special, like I'm a winner, then I'm going to feel good. And that is not, it's like surface level. It's not that deep. Deep is love, loving connection. How sappy that sounds. The reason why we try to be so significant, special, needed, and wanted is because all of our biggest fear is that we're not enough and therefore we won't be loved. And love is like oxygen for the soul. And if you just base it on your own experience, people, if you're yourself or people who don't, especially children who don't get the loving connection from their parents, they feel like they carry a lot of shame. They feel like they can't express themselves. They feel like they can't be themselves. When their parents are distant or not there, either physically or emotionally, they can't connect with their parents. They can't connect with them. They can't express themselves in a safe environment. So they never express themselves to themselves as well. They can after, but I'm saying they're conditioned like that. So they don't feel their self-esteem, and they don't feel their true confidence and their true motivation, even though they might look like they're so confident because, they're career men and women and this and that and whatever. If you can't feel yourself, I believe you'll never fully feel the self-esteem and the confidence that's naturally inside of you. How do most people think they get love and connection? Because if that's our top need, how do most people think they get it? And most people, and I think this is maybe the most common pattern in the world, and I see this all the time with my clients, with almost every single client that comes in here. I show them that most people try to be significant in order to earn love and connection. If I'm, smart, if I achieve, if I'm different, if I'm unique, if I'm beautiful, if I'm this, if I'm that, if I'm significant somehow, then I'll be worth loving connection. It's a very common, very, very common pattern, and most people live that way. I think that's why most people get into jobs they work in a certain career that they don't like, but they do it for the prestige, which is crazy for me, or crazy to hear for me. They do it for their parents, make their parents proud, or they feel proud. And those are all code words for significance. So if I'm significant, then I'll be worth loving connection. So when we look on social media, as a woman, you look at a girl and we say, does my husband wish I looked that way? Or a guy sees a picture of a successful guy on, let's say, social media, and they say, does my girlfriend, does my wife want me to be successful like him? Am I not good enough? And it activates our deepest fear that we're not enough, and we won't be loved. Or sometimes people look and they go, I feel like the people on social media are having so much success in their lives, and I'm not where I want to be in my life, or I'm an imposter, imposter syndrome. All this sound familiar? I know. Social media plays on this insecurity. So if naturally our deepest fear is that we're not enough and we won't be loved, and we look at social media with all these supposed perfect lives, with perfect images, which are a lot of them are filtered, with perfect bodies, and again, they do things as well with that, or some of them are professional models and all that kind of stuff. Or you only see the smiles. Whenever you take a picture, you see the smile. Oh my God, a perfect relationship, a perfect person, a perfect health, right? So we look at that, and that plays on our deepest fear that we're not enough and we won't be loved. Because if those people are better than us, then they're going to be loved and we're not. So the question is, does it have to be this way? And the answer is no, it doesn't. So let's be honest. I think everybody will feel the fear of not being enough and therefore not being loved at some point in their lives, at some time. You might not feel right this second, but it could be next week, next month, next year. You're going to feel the fear of not being enough and therefore won't be loved. So it's not about being perfect here. But instead of living like that, like most of your life or most of your day, we can make it so it's minimized. And the way out of that is to not think of trying to get love and connection, but it's about living out of loving connection. And what that means is living out of your true nature, living out of who you really are. That's where you feel connected with yourself, and that's where you feel the loving connection, because you're connected to who you are. And if you're repressing who you are, if you're saying that part of me is bad and that's bad, and I just have to focus on what I'm good at or what I've achieved, you're not connected to yourself. You're not authentic, and that's an overused word, but you're not connected to yourself. It's when you're connected to yourself, that's where you feel the self-esteem. That's where you feel the confidence. And that's because that's where you feel the love and connection. That's being yourself, all of you. And there's no good or bad parts of you. There's no, flaws in you per se. It's not, nobody's perfect. It's that you're you and you're just you. You're not great. You're not, oh my God, you're so great. You're just you. You don't have to be great. You're just you. And feeling that is when you feel connected to yourself, and where you could be yourself, and where, again, you feel the self-esteem, you feel the confidence, and again, a natural motivation. So how does this relate to social media? So when you live out of love and connection, which is, I believe, our natural state, and this is what I show my clients, I help them break the conditioning that they've been learning all these years to get back to who they really are. So they feel the love and connection inside of them. So they feel the self-esteem inside of them. So they feel the confidence inside of them. So when I look at social media, it might have a bit of an influence on them, but not that much. Like, we're stronger than an app. So they look at the social media and they go, okay, these people are using filters or doing this or doing that. They understand that this is like a superficial app, superficial life here. It's not, and they don't have to be. And I don't have to be perfect, so when I see something that's perfect, I don't have to be that way, because I already feel the loving connection inside, because I live out of loving connection. I live out of being myself. And when you see those people on social media trying to be somebody they're not, or trying to be very significant, you could almost feel bad for them or sad for them that they think they have to do that in order to feel significant, because what they really want, at the end of the day, is love and connection. It sounds so sappy, but it's true. So in conclusion, instead of valuing significance in your life, trying to be significant by being an achiever, by being a helper, by being so unique and different, or a boss babe, or a businessman, or an athlete, or this or that, instead of living like that, you could just live out of loving connection, out of being yourself. That's where you're going to feel the self-esteem, and that's where you're going to feel the confidence. So, and that's stronger than any app could ever be. So I'd like to hear your comments, what you think about this video, about what I said, what you agree with, what you disagree with, all the comments below. I'll even link the article below, and I'll see you next time.